I'm a nervous traveler. I hate flying, so simplifying everything else around that that makes it way easier for me. Or it makes it like way more simplistic. Walking through the airport with just a backpack is such a game changer.
Hello everyone, welcome to another Ismono podcast, and today we have a returning guest, Alex from Outen the Lights, which I'm going to start with a compliment, because I think you have one of the most unique, or one of the unique, I'm not going to sugarcoat you too much with most, but you have one of the unique,
hype me up.
one of the most unique styles that I really enjoy. You bring something visually and storytelling to the table that I think is, from my personal perspective, extremely refreshing. So before I continue to kind of butter you up, maybe introduce yourself for those listeners who don't know who you are.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for that intro. That was great. I'll pay you afterwards for sure. But yeah, I'm Alex. I run a channel called Out in the Lights. I've been doing it for a couple years now. My videos are definitely more like on the cinematic side, kind of, compared to some of the others like in our bag review space. I don't usually hang behind like a desk because I'm just not good at doing that. Like there's so many out there who are so much better than me. Yeah. So I definitely try and like get out there and do a little more cinematic shooting. But yeah, check me out if you haven't. It's over at Out in the Lights.
Dare I say it's not cinematic, but rather I think you have a vibe.
Cool. I appreciate that too.
That's how I would kind of describe yours. It is cinematic, but I feel like and I think what I'm going to say now is probably something that you will appreciate the most, because I feel like when I watch your videos, it's kind of like putting on a vinyl, because I can kind of put it on and kind of chill out in a way. And
yeah, I do appreciate that. Yeah.
And you kind of mastered what I noticed for the past 12 months. When I put on a YouTube video, I zone out visually speaking. So I only listen to video, but you have, for all of you who don't know Alex videos, there is a segment most of the time in the middle where it's just music, and he kind of loads up the bag, and that's where my brain is like, hold on, no one is talking, and then I need to look at the video. So with your videos, I usually look and watch it actually. And I'm not just listening. So
I appreciate
it's
that.
A really cool vibe. I like that a lot. And I'm going to surprise you, because I mean, you and we review bags, but I'm going to do a twist here, and we're not going to talk about bags. You're now at the Harry Potter podcast quiz show, and we are going to ask. No, I have a couple of questions, but
yeah.
I'm going to ask you anyways. Do you like Harry Potter?
You know, I never read them. I think I've only seen one movie.
Then I'm going to start easy. What is
I went to Universal Studios one time. I rode the ride. That was pretty cool.
I'm going to ask you. I'm going to put you in the cold water, starting with something easy. What is the name of the boy who lived? A, Neville Longbottom. B, Draco Malfoy. C, Harry Potter. D, Ron Weasley.
All of the above. Actually, here's a fun thing. Years ago, I was an extra in a movie called CBGBs, which is about like the famed like punk club in New York. But Alan Rickman was the star of it.
No way.
And I played the courtroom clerk. So you can see me for about 0.2 seconds behind Alan Rickman while he's in his courtroom scene. Yeah, it was super fun.
Did you talk to him in any shape or form?
No. I mean, he wasn't like near anyone. There were like, stand-ins for him the whole time. Then he'd just like come in and like do his scene and angrily walk away. But it was fun. It was like an experience. I was living in Savannah at the time, and it was just like, it was cool. Just went for like a day and shot that. But yeah, that's my Harry Potter connection.
But that's a really cool one. Yeah, admittedly, that is really cool. All right, then I'm going to do a real question now. In your videos, you kind of cover, not all of them, but most of them, you kind of cover this topic of traveling with just one bag. And that is like, I would say one of the center focuses on some of your videos at least. Can you walk us through a little bit when it comes to traveling? I will get to day-to-day life in a second, but when it comes down to traveling, is there what are the essentials? And can you also walk us through how you plan to pack for only one bag? Because I feel like it is very difficult, and while many people talk about traveling with one bag, it is still quite challenging. And I feel like you have kind of mastered it in a way. So
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's definitely something I've always tried to do and still continue to do. Like I do have a 19-month-old daughter now, so we are bringing a little bit more, but my like actual pack out when we go away on a trip is stayed the same, which is good. But to be honest, it's always choosing like kind of the right clothes, because the clothes are going to be the most important thing you're bringing in your bag. So like versatile pieces that are going to fit together, like kind of like a capsule wardrobe is kind of important. So if you can pair like every shirt that you have with like an overcoat or like a chore coat, like that's super important to be able to do on your trip. I'm also like a big advocate for sink laundry. So just being able to bring laundry strips along, I think is really important. It's really easy. When I go away on like business trips, I always do that and just like wash my undershirts and like my underwear and socks. It's very like easy process. You kind of just do it at night, put it in the sink, let it hang overnight, and you're usually like good to go. Yeah, and then just like bringing only what you need, I think is like the third kind of like key thing that's really important. So not overpacking. Like usually if you're going somewhere, you're going to be able to get something last minute if you forgot it. So never overpack. Like always just try and bring what you need to bring. It just makes everything so much easier. It makes it like way more simplistic. Walking through the airport with just a backpack is such a game changer compared to bringing like a rolling luggage and stuff. Just having everything on you is always really appealed to me and kind of just made traveling easier. Like I'm a nervous traveler. I hate flying. So simplifying everything else around that is, that makes it way easier for me or less stressful for me.
But this topic of washing, and when I went to Thailand, I did a similar thing. But fortunately, they had a washing machine as well, but plus a dryer. Still, I run into the issue of the things not drying as fast as I would have liked. So any tips and tricks in terms of, I assume, are you still on the merino wool bandwagon? Are you still using merino wool?
Yeah, I use some merino wool for like undershirts and stuff. I recently worked with like Bluffworks, so like their stuff's really great. I really like some of their shirts that they have. And I like for my dress shirts, like if I am doing something a little more formal or like working, I will wear something that has like more of like performance material. Like I'll wear like a shirt from Vuori or like one of those companies where it's like a little more easier to dry. Like overnight.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask. And do you make sure to kind of pack stuff like, I don't know, what are these things called that you use on drying cables, where clamps? Is the English word?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know the English word of that, how to clamp your clothing onto a line. How do you do that in the hotel? I mean, this sounds so obvious in a way, how to do it, but I feel like in most of the times, in terms of practicality, many years ago, I was in a hotel and the sink was so small and the faucet was so close to the bowl that it was basically physically impossible to, maybe some boxers, but like a sweater or something that it was a little bit bigger was so difficult to wash. So I feel like we in this travel space talk a lot about, just wash in the hotel, but not every hotel is giving you the option to physically do so. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like checking beforehand, like seeing, what kind of hotel you're going to, like really doing the research beforehand is important. Also like researching like bag restrictions too. Like if you are just carrying one bag and you want to be able to either carry on or do a personal item, making sure you're checking your bag restrictions beforehand as well. But when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm not just bringing like one shirt along too. When I do like a long-term trip, like I will pack for like a full week
Sure.
if I'm doing like a 2-week trip. So I'm not like Maurice Moves or any of those people who are like, I bring one shirt for like 18 months. It's like,
Yeah,
no, like I can't do that.
I
Like
really want to interview him as well because I
that
think
dude's awesome. Yeah, his stuff is great.
has that basically mastered to a really high level of degree. But
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like, if worse comes to worse and I can't do sink laundry and I wear a shirt for 2 days or something, it's not the end of the world, right? I'm a little more like I want to keep my underwear clean and like my socks clean and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
that's
But
a little
that's easy
easier
to
with the
pack.
sink.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
exactly.
course.
But if I'm wearing a shirt for a couple of days, it's no biggie, right? So I kind of look at it like that.
Yeah, I feel like it in theory it sounds or it seems to be so easy to do one bag travel, but more often than I can count, it doesn't seem to be that easy to kind of pull off. So I think that's why I'm somewhat kind of looking up to everyone around me that is kind of mastering that, and I basically can't do it that well.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's sometimes I'll bring along like a little tote bag too, just in case I'm bringing anything back with me. Because I will, like, the backpack will be relatively full on the trip that I'm going on. But say I buy a bunch of records or something, which is like the typical thing I do when I travel. Like I'll bring like a little tote bag to bring stuff back. I know a lot of people are into like the 1.5 bag travel too now, which is like with the sling and the backpack.
That's what you mean. I thought you were just about to say 1.5 liters travel, and I'm like, who is
that'd be pretty
managing
intense.
that?
That'd be pretty cool. But
Okay, yeah,
but yeah,
1.5,
like I know a lot of people are doing that now. I haven't found a need for it yet, but I know it is like kind of a popular thing at the moment.
It sounds I'm not kind of don't want to put anyone down, but I feel like that has been a thing for many years. I feel like it's I think only the terminology is kind of popular
The 1.5,
right now. Yeah, the 1.5.
Yeah,
but
I've just
I feel
been
like
seeing a
everyone
lot
has
more
been
of it
doing
recently.
that.
I don't know why, and maybe it's just like the people that I talk to in like our bag review world and stuff. But I know a lot of the like dudes that I chat with are into that kind of like 1.5 bag life. So
I assume the reason being is that it has become so en vogue or so normalized as a male to carry a sling bag. Because previously, I feel like the 1.5 carry used to be a rolling case and a laptop bag in a way.
Yeah,
it seems
like
to me,
a briefcase on there.
Well, if you're female, it basically is, okay, the rolling case and your purse.
Right.
But I guess the male demographic now has come to a point that it is okay to wear a sling bag in a way.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally. I love sling bags.
I remember growing up and it was like Seinfeld with, the European carry-all and like that episode of him like carrying his man purse. But no, it's great now. I mean, I love slings. I carry them all the time too. If I'm going out anywhere, I'm usually, reaching for a sling when I leave or a very small backpack. But yeah.
That's a good segue. Speaking of reaching out, what are you looking for when you're deciding on the one bag for traveling? I mean, obviously, this question is a little bit difficult for you and I because we review bags. But let's imagine you are not reviewing a bag at that specific moment. What would you look for when you think to yourself, okay, I'm going to do one bag travel now?
Yeah, I mean, I start with style. Like what it looks like is really important for me. And
Same.
yeah, and I know you're into fashion too, and I'm really into fashion. I want it to look good too. Like I want the bag to look good that I'm wearing because you feel more confident in it. You want to just carry it around too, Second thing would be comfort. Definitely like the comfort of the shoulder straps and the back panel is super, super important to me too. Which is why usually I'll gravitate towards like an airbag or a Pioneer or even like some Tom Talks, but it needs to have some good like robust straps that I feel like are just like, it doesn't feel like I'm wearing something, because I don't care as much about the weight of the actual bag. Like I can carry a bag that's a little heavier as long as it's comfortable to carry. But if it's like, going into like my shoulders and the straps are like cutting into me and it's just uncomfortable, then that's just like a huge deal breaker for like one bag travel.
And
And then,
anything
yeah, and I
else?
guess the other thing is like kind of just like a nice open space to pack too. Like I like the clamshell style opening mostly when I am going on longer trips. I don't mind like a top loader like bag coming from the top, but that's going to be for like a shorter trip. That's only for like a couple days for me because I can kind of slide a packing cube in from the top. But I like to have it laid out. It just feels so much more organized kind of when it's that clamshell style for like the longer trips.
Yeah. I would love to know, because this is something I feel like is a little bit disregarded in, not necessarily in the review space, but overall when it comes down to bags, because I do see so many people rather use a ugly looking bag instead of the one that looks good. Let's talk a little bit about aesthetics.
Sure.
What's you just said it has to look good. What would you consider looking good? Do you have some examples, or is it a specific fabric or a specific layout? What do you consider pretty or beautiful?
Yeah. I'm kind of all over the place, to be honest. It's just kind of like, I don't know what I feel like goes with my style when I'm looking at it. I gravitate towards like, I do like Pioneer bags. I love the fabric that they use.
They look awesome.
Yeah. I like kind of like a thicker fabric. I love like the Cordura that Air uses. Anything like that kind of feels like very robust that I can kind of like throw around a little bit. I don't care that much about weatherproofing as much. I feel like I've never gotten in a situation where I really needed a 100% like waterproof bag. And yeah, sometimes like the touch of the material is as important as the style too. So like I know
Haptics.
Yeah, I usually like to gravitate towards those more so than like X-Pack, or especially like Ultra. Ultra feels a little too plasticky to me.
Oh,
if that makes
interesting.
sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the kind I really like. But I'm all over the place. Like I also just reviewed a bunch of Topology gear, and Topology is like, very big in Japan and in the States, kind of, growing here for sure. But their stuff is weird, and it's definitely not like the best made. It's the fabrics aren't as good as like a Pioneer Air or something like that. It's more like polyester and stuff, but it looks cool. It's like a rock climbing brand. So it started as like some rock climbers who were into fashion, and the straps of the bags are actually like rock climbing rope. So you can like pair all these different ropes with these bags. And yeah, I reviewed a duffel bag and a tote bag, and the tote bag's like super simple. It's like one zipper pocket. You can like throw your laptop in, but it's just feels really cool. Like when you're wearing it, so I really appreciate what they're doing. And it's kind of a cool, like unique, I don't know, something
Colorful.
very different than other bag companies. Yeah.
Really colorful. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I had the name in the back of my head, but I didn't associate this kind of bags with that brand for some weird reason. I thought of a completely different brand, I guess. Okay.
Yeah. I like that stuff, and it's funny because it isn't what I typically go towards. I'm definitely more like American workwear kind of stuff too, or Japanese like city boy style, that kind of stuff, like Beams and those companies too. When I'm like for my own personal clothing, so kind of adding like a little flair with some Topology kind of like livens up the outfit every once in a while too, which I like. If I'm thinking about it from like a style perspective.
Yeah. I mean, from what I can kind of see from your videos, your style, your color choices of style it is colorful, but more on the darker side, right? Like
100%,
like the Bordeaux red that you're wearing on your beanie right now, and the dark blue. So is that also reflected on what kind of bags you would you? I mean, right now we have obviously a lot of black bags, but we also have those dark greens, but also sometimes those bright orange that Pack also uses sometimes. Would you gravitate more towards, if someone would make a marine blue or Bordeaux red kind of color scheme, would that be something that you would be gravitating to more instead of a
probably
black
the
bag?
blues, the blacks, like Able Carry. I like their blue color. I think their
that's
color is
true.
really
Forgot
really
about that,
beautiful. I I'm trying to think of other ones. I just reviewed the Air Eco Pack for their City Pack Pro 2, like the kind of like yellow, like kind of
Grayish.
like your shirt
Yeah,
color.
yeah.
Yeah, like kind of like a
Oh,
little darker than that. But that's a really great bag too. I do like that color, that kind of like yellow-y. That's nice for like a pop of color too. And it
yeah.
does kind of go along with the same tones that like I wear, like you're saying, like the red and the blue and stuff like that. It does fit along with that kind of as well.
Hold on. Wasn't the Air Eco Pack? Wasn't it black? And then with
No,
the lime inside? Or no, that was the Ultra. That was
yeah,
the
that's the
Ultra.
Ultra one. Yeah, the Eco Pack just came out a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. I'm trying to think. You know how it is. We
Oh,
both
it's a
review a lot of bags.
coyote style, yeah.
Yep.
That is sometimes a thing that I'm worried about. I sometimes totally mix up stuff and don't forget
Yep.
brand things and stuff like that. And I sometimes fear that people think, oh, he's not a real reviewer, but we do so many
The nature of the
bags.
beast, man.
I
It
get
just is
so
what it is.
confused with so many details.
Yeah,
And
100%.
yeah, it's too much.
And the thing is, a
sometimes.
lot of bags are starting to look like a lot of other bags these days
True.
too, which I
True.
think is really interesting, especially like the Air bag just launched. Airbags are all starting to look like other airbags now too,
Yeah,
which I think is really
yeah.
interesting. Like the new travel pack, which just came out this week, is starting to look like the city pack now with its shape, and it's becoming more oval, so it's starting to look like able carry and a little bit too. Like
Yeah.
it's really interesting, like where I don't know the industry is right now. It seems like you're starting to get some of those softer edges and like getting away from like a more like square masculine look, and
Yeah.
everyone's kind of going towards more of like a curved like unisex look, which is interesting. I think it's really cool, to be honest with
It's overall, it's really interesting how, for lack of a better description, how saturated the market has become in a way,
true.
and it's hard to kind of innovate. And what I really found weird, I had this comment recently on what was the name of the Nectrum, the Nectrum Vanta 22, which I think, I believe is a very unique looking bag. Not sure if you're familiar with that bag. It has this two kind of compartments and the clamshell opening. It does look apart, in my humble opinion. And someone was commenting, "Oh, stop reviewing these off-the-shelf Chinese generic bags." And I'm like, I was sitting there, and this doesn't look like any other bag. Why is this generic, or is this off the shelf? And I know what are your hints or your what's the word? Where did you come to that conclusion that this is something? And while
Right.
all of the other brands are somewhat looking similar in a way, especially with black bags, they sometimes I'm not sure. Is that which brand is
100%.
that?
Yeah, sometimes it does all feel the same, and yeah, it's interesting. Definitely what we do. Everyone has strong opinions of things too, which is great because it does like continue conversations and make it like more of a community, which is really awesome for people who like bags. But there's definitely like a lot of people with a lot of different takes out there, which is cool.
I mean, this was supposed to be one of my last questions, but I'm going to pull it here already because I think this is a good segue. Has there been what has been the most memorable bag for you within the last 12 months? Is there anything that particularly comes to your mind where you say like, okay, this is the bag that I can remember? Could be negative, could be positive in both ways. Is there one?
I'm trying to think. I mean, my ultimate bag that I always go back to for like everyday use or trips is Pioneer's Duration Pack. I think it's for what I personally need, it's the best. The 2 pockets on the front where you can put your DOP kit, you can put your small accessories, and then your main larger pocket. I love that they added a couple, I think they did 4 more liters in there. So it's 22 instead of 18 now in their second edition. But that bag just feels great. I mean, I know it's expensive, but it'll like outlive you. You know what I mean? It's one of those
love
bags
the
that
fabric. in combination with these huge zippers, this Mandarin fabric, it feels so good.
Oh yes, absolutely. I love the chunky zippers too. Yeah, I know you got to get used to it. Or some people like don't love that look, but I think it's great and they feel great to use too. Like the use case is really nice.
I feel like that is a very underrated feature because many people kind of concentrate on, oh, these look so big and not pretty and chunky, but they don't catch on themselves like those tiny zippers, and they are so much easier to move around the corners. And I think I do feel like, or I perceive it that way, that many people kind of overlook that benefit of that huge zipper, and most people just say like, oh, these are big and huge and ugly, but totally don't see the benefit of those huge zippers. I love them.
They're so smooth. It's like the best experience when you're using that bag for sure. Like alternatively, I recently reviewed some Bellroy bags that I liked of their classic line, which is just like the kind of standard like 1990s backpack, which I feel like looks really, really cool. There's like a couple things I would change. The zippers like don't have that same experience. They definitely like the style's perfect. And they also have a duffel bag or like a tote bag. It's like in between like a duffel tote size that I really like. The color's really beautiful, but like the experience once you're using it's like a little bit off. And I like Bellroy, but I do sometimes feel like that's the case. Like I love the style of Bellroy. And then when I use it, I'm like, I could add a few things here or there, you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
I love Bellroy products in general, but I'm going to kind of attract a lot of negative feedback with this comment. But I feel a little bit oversaturated.
Sure, they put out a lot.
Yeah, they have so many products, and sometimes. So there was a comment, and that person was asking me about one Bellroy bag. And I honestly didn't know which one it was because there was so many. There were so many in one lineup, like the work pack, the Via, I also already get all of the naming confused, but there were a couple of them. When you put them in the line, and I can physically actually do that because I have them here, I wouldn't know which one's which.
Sure.
And that is something that is, I understand where you need to do that as a brand to kind of have something for everyone, but it is sometimes really confusing.
It's tough when you put out that many bags. Alpaca puts out a lot of bags too.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get confused with their naming conventions because they're like kind of the same as well. And a lot of their bags their bags are great. I like their bags a lot. It's just sometimes they're like the differences are so small between them. I'm like, what is this again? Like, where are we at with this Alpaca bag? But yeah, I mean, sometimes when you just release less, it feels more special too. Like if you have stuff coming out every week, every month, all the time, it's a lot easier to miss those. You know what I mean? Miss those releases and stuff too. So,
This is funny because I'm going a little slightly on a tangent a little bit because this might be somewhat of a. It's not philosophical, but it is. So Bellroy, with all of those products, you and we both like retro gaming devices. You have an Anbernic device. I have one too. So I recently had this comment on one of my videos on my second channel where I said something along the lines, oh, Anbernic, this is the RG35XX Pro plus this, not Pro plus this, and this is the RGB Anbernic RG40XX, and this is the RG. So, and I was saying something, oh, these naming things are so confusing and so stupid, and this annoys me. And that comment was like, oh, please inform yourself beforehand. These naming schemes, they have a meaning. And I was like, yeah, I know that is the screen size, that is the system, and I get that, but it is still confusing for a consumer perspective. So what I would like to know from you, or let's talk about it, would you rather have a brand that you really enjoy, just make a product every 2 years or something? I know from a business standpoint that is impossible usually. You don't want to do that, but let's push that aside. But for us as consumers, would you rather wait much longer but then have just one product, or do you like the way Anbrunick or Bellroy is doing it and pushing out a retro gaming device basically every single month, but then confuse you with the naming scheme because obviously they cannot make Game Boy 1, Game Boy 2, Game Boy 3. They have to have a specific naming scheme. Is that something where you're sitting? Would you rather, and don't say in the middle because you can only decide between one or the other. Would you
I'll preface it with this. I think that because we review bags, we need more bags coming out all the time.
Yeah, okay. I get that.
But from a consumer standpoint, like I am so much more down with like Able Carry or Pioneer, who releases just like a handful of new bags like every year, if that. Like Able's like once a year they'll release something. Pioneer's maybe like twice a year. But I think that like the intention behind it, like not oversaturating it, not feeling like you're just getting thrown a bunch of stuff at you. And like, there's actually like a lot of more thought put into it, a lot more research, a lot more design work that goes into that. It just makes you, I don't know, it makes the bag feel more special when it comes out too.
Agreed.
And it makes me want to check it out more because it feels like more was put into it, you know?
And you value what you purchase much longer instead of kind of being thrown onto the bus after you purchase this. And then 1 month later, you're like, oh, this is old. I don't want this anymore. Right? So,
and it's a bag. I mean, it's hopefully going to last you for a long time. If you're buying one of these bags that usually that we talk about on our channels, it's going to be something that's going to last you for quite some time.
Exactly.
And, you know, maybe you'll have it a couple of years and you'll want to sell it and resell. And that's like such a popular thing too within like the bag world. But still, like you want it to last. Like you're not just going to buy, like you said, like every month you're not buying a brand new bag. Like it just doesn't make sense. I mean, maybe some people do, but I wouldn't be able to do that, you know?
Well, we are in the bag enthusiast world. I know a couple of people who have 20 bags.
Bag problems.
I'm the same. My attic is full of boxes of bags.
100%. Yeah. That's like the guest room. It's a mess right now. Just going through all of them.
It's crazy, right? This thing with so many products, but still we not getting enough of them and wanting to buy more and more. Again, this is a little bit on the tangent and a little bit philosophical, but I did kind of notice yesterday, I made a vlog actually today where I kind of talked about how I stopped watching YouTube videos, specifically tech videos, and I didn't have the urge for 3 months not to buy a new camera. Before that, I consciously was like, hold on, you didn't put a camera into your shopping cart for the last 3 months. And I was like, why is that? Oh, you don't watch any camera review videos. And that's so crazy how, and it's a shame because you and I, we are both in this review world and we are, dare I say it, part of the problem. But I mean, on one hand, it makes so much, it's fun to make videos, but on the other hand, I totally see, oh no, I'm kind of making someone buy a bag in a way. It's weird.
Well, I think that's, you know, with what we do with our videos too, trying to make them like a little more like, I don't know, vibey, cinematic in a way too. You make it more like, hopefully people want to watch for like our opinions and the way it looks and like to vibe out, kind of like you were saying too. So, you know, I try not to go at it at a way where it's just like capitalistic society, buy, you know, like I try and tell people who do watch, like, you don't need to buy everything. You need to find like the one bag that's good for you. And
that's why
if you
I
watch
like your videos.
200 videos to do it, like, you know, it is what it is, but like, hopefully you'll find one.
I mean, that's why I personally think your videos are amazing because it is a vibe. It's not kind of, I'm not only watching it for, okay, I want to buy this. But I'm also kind of watching it. Okay, how is he packing this? And then, okay, what's the latest record he bought and stuff like that? You know, that I think that's really cool, and I like that you approach it that way.
Thanks, Bill. Yeah, cool. I appreciate that. I worked in marketing for many years, like before my daughter was born, and I didn't want it to be like I'm marketing to people, right? Like I didn't want it to be like just pushing bags. I wanted to kind of have a little bit of my own personality in it, which is why I like to talk about music at the end of it. Because I did, I worked in music related marketing for a long time too. And yeah, it's cool to have like your channel be yours and not just like trying to get views and trying to get people clicking on and trying to, you know what I mean? It makes it feel better when you like personalize it and kind of like stand behind what you do, which is cool.
And sorry to the listeners, I will ask Alex in just a second about EDC, but I just want to just tell a story because you just said something with records and stuff like that. Also, for the last few months, I have been trying to consciously kind of get away from my phone a little bit, not because I don't like my phone, but I kind of wanted to get away from doom scrolling, and then I played retro gaming, but also not listen to too many YouTube videos and podcasts so I don't buy a new camera. And I started, and this is something that I totally missed for the last, honestly, 20 to 30 years, listening to an album completely. So I started with Blink 182 Enema of the State, and I listened to that. Yeah, I listened to that album completely because before that, again, for 20 years or something, I didn't listen to an album from front to end. And that was the first time I was like, holy shit, I forgot how amazing it is to listen to an album the whole way. Yeah. And then I listened 100%. To Linkin Park, the newest album that I'm totally late to the party. Started to listen that starting on Monday and was like, oh, it's so cool to listen to a whole album. And that's something that I missed so much. Not because I wanted, I just forgot about it. So I totally get that you are buying records and you kind of having to consciously put a record on and then put the needle on and then... Okay, I did all of the
experience,
work.
Right?
Yeah, and I need to listen to it now.
Yeah, you're listening to like what an artist created, which is like
so cool,
a beautiful thing, right? Yeah. And I think like Kim Gordon from Sonic Youth said it best. She did like an interview recently where she was just talking about how dumb Spotify is and how like the idea of coming home from work and having like a Spotify curated playlist to like based on like your mood and like this is what Spotify wants you to feel and this is the songs that we want you to listen to based on probably what record labels are paying them the most or whatever kind of stuff is going on in the background to get these artists more, and you're not like experiencing an album in like its full like intentional like purpose, right? Like it's an art piece. So that's why I've always liked vinyl, and I've collected for like 25 years at this point. And it's the best. You put it on and you listen, you know, and that like can also help with doom scrolling or anything else. That's the first thing I do in the morning, like with my daughter when we're getting ready. And my wife goes off to work. I watch my daughter during the day. So we throw on a record and we get things, get things moving. It's the best. Yeah. So
that is a perfect segue now to all of the listeners. Sorry for that tangent. Hopefully you enjoyed that. But let's talk about your essentials for a regular workday. And I think the segue is kind of, do you have an iPod? Do you listen when you are on the go to your commute to work? So what's your essentials that you pack for workday?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. So like work days look a little different for me now at this point in my life. So like I do a lot of like work for like brands and stuff at night. I also do like a little travel directing here and there, which is like, well, I'll go to like big trade shows and like work.
You're a hitman, right?
What's that?
You're a hitman, right?
That's right. That's
okay, that's your job.
I'm a trade show guy, but
I work at night.
That's right. So no, it's funny. It's like, I'll watch my daughter during the day. My wife goes out to work, and then at night I kind of get like my editing done. I'll do my video work. I'll do like anything I'm doing for brands or stuff like that. But then maybe 4 or 5 times a year I'll go out on these longer extended trips for like a week, 10 days, where I'm working like events and stuff like that. But on like an everyday like level, if I'm just going to the coffee shop like on the weekend or something, I need to get some work done. It's usually like a more simple tote where I can just carry like a laptop or even an iPad. Recently just got a Kindle, which
I did that too.
Yeah, Kindles are great. I hate supporting Amazon, but Kindles are awesome and a great way to get off your phone too. So definitely just been trying
Agreed.
to like read more and carry like that, like the little tiny Kindle along with me if like I'm going out and have some time to myself where I can do something like that.
Did you get the color version or the regular version?
Just the regular one.
Yeah.
Just the regular one. But yeah, so like that's been really great too. Music wise, if I'm like going out, I do have like some things to listen to analog music, and that would be like
please,
a little
Walkman.
CD player.
Wow.
We have a cassette deck, like a cassette player, a Walkman.
Is that a Discman with a 20-second buffering if you kind of have to run and it bumps?
It might have buffering. I'm not sure. It's like a newer model. It has like Bluetooth on it too, which I think is actually kind of funny.
I remember back then when we kind of were like, okay, how many seconds buffering do you have? I got 5 seconds. And the other one's like, I got 15 seconds.
Exactly.
Like, oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's so funny. And then if I do listen to it on my phone, I'll try and like listen on Bandcamp or something like that, where you can like support the artist more directly. But and cassette deck every once in a while, I'll pull those out. I just recently did like a video on the Evergoods, the little 2-liter like pouch, the Civic pouch. And I packed up my cassette player and cassettes in there, and definitely got made fun of by some of my bag review peers for doing that. But it definitely is kind of my use case, which I think is what it just is who I am. So
I love this, and I don't know if you're aware of the new Linkin Park album, but there is a segment in the middle where you can actually hear, and that's why I like listening to, or why I kind of think like, oh, this is so cool to listen to a whole album, because you have those skits in the middle somewhere, and there is this part where you can hear a cassette deck being switched around. So, and I really love that sound, that plastic going into the slot, and then you push it close, and then you push that button. Yeah. That is such a cool experience that, I don't know, it's this physical touch of haptics is being missed so much nowadays. And mechanical keyboards, Walkman, it's so cool to pressing buttons is awesome.
100%. I'm definitely getting more into like stationery and stuff too. Down the street from where we live, there's like a Japanese stationery store. So they like have all this like really cool, unique like paper that I'm just like starting to learn about and get into. And I've done stuff with Field Notes over the years. I love their notebooks too. But it's nice just to have something physical. I'm trying to like write out my scripts when I'm doing my videos now, instead of like using my phone to type them, because it just feels much more like intentional, and that like I'm just, I don't know. There's like a better feeling to being able to do that for sure.
Yeah. Truth to be told, I want to do that as well. I have so many. I like notebooks, especially the ones from Leuchtturm, but also obviously Field Notes.
Those are super nice. Yeah.
Yeah, but I sometimes totally forget to carry it with me, which is a shame actually. Not to carry.
Gotta add that into your EDC. I'm looking for it next month in your update. I want a little notebook in there.
Exactly. I mean, I always have them here next to my table. Always have. This one is from Orbit Key, but I like this form factor a lot.
Speaking of Orbit Key, Orbit Key's sling is super nice for what it is. I just reviewed that like a couple weeks ago, and that thing's awesome. Yeah,
it's good. Yeah. It's if we didn't have Able Carry, that would be my favorite. But did you already? Yeah, you did.
I did the Able Carry core.
Is it do you have the core or the smaller one?
I have the core. Just the regular.
Oh yeah, that one's great, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. The padding's a little weird, like on the strap. That's the only thing that is like a little weird to me, but it's such a sick bag. The rest of it's awesome. Like I definitely reach for that all the time.
You have the green one, right?
I have the blue one.
Oh, the blue one.
Typical me. Yeah, blue.
Yeah. Speaking of EDC, what's your current pocket done? What's in your pockets?
Pocket wise, I mean, it's really just like phone, wallet. I did start using the Orbit Key like system. So like, the little like has like a little leather piece, and then you pull your like keys out. So I started using that from Orbit Key recently.
Wallet? Which wallet do you use? You have a
I have I don't have it with me. It's a Comme des Garçons. It's like a very small, like leather pocket, like just
You are
folds
quite
open
a
with.
connoisseur. How you said the French name? Comme
That's
de,
right. Well,
comme de, what was it? Comme de,
Yeah, Comme des Garçons. They're like,
comme de garçon.
they have like the little heart, like the little heart you sometimes see on
Oh,
like
those!
Converse shoes.
Yeah.
So they're like the fashion brand, but I've had
I
this
didn't know
wallet
they
for.
make wallets. Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
they make some stuff like that too.
My
My wife
wife
got it for
has
me
a
like
shirt.
10
Yeah.
years ago. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it's
cool. If it's
super
from your
nice.
wife, that's obviously great.
Yeah, it's just lasted forever too. Like you can beat it up. It's super, super nice. But yeah, I mean, French brands are great too. That's I'll shout out a French brand real quick just because I worked with them this past year on creating a bag with them with Vous pouvez dormir dans la grange, and they are like the coolest people. So like Arnaud and Coralie, shout out to them.
It was
They're
so
awesome.
cool that you made the bag with them.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's really
they're
cool.
the coolest people. They were like they've just been super sweet, and it was such a cool project to do. So.
And what's that watch on your wrist? That looks
this
like
is
a flight
Veyer
watch. Oh,
yeah.
that's
So
cool.
I've worked with Veyer on a couple different videos. I like their like more simplistic watches. Like this one's like the C5 or something like that. They also have like the naming conventions that you like don't understand. But when you look on their site, they have a lot of cool, pretty affordable watches, anywhere from like $300 to like $1,000.
Yeah.
And Veyer's awesome too. So yeah, shout out to them for sure.
Oh, that's cool. I like the color, the coyote or the tan color with the black. Looks really
it's cool. You can do like different like straps. You basically get like two straps,
sure,
a metal one, and then like a canvas one. But they're cool. Definitely check them out. They're all over the place. I know a lot of like bag and EDC reviewers have talked about them in videos, but their stuff is great. Like
I love watches so much, but I don't dare to kind of jump into the watch space because it can be fierce in there.
I know. It's like I like wearing it and I wear it like every day, but I'm afraid if I start getting into it, it's gonna just be bad. And
you attract some
I can't
very
collect
passionate.
Else,
yeah, that's true. So that was great. Last question before I let you know. What's your current game of choice? Be it either retro or, I mean, again, you are into retro gaming just like I am. What's your game at the moment? What you're playing?
So my brother brought the old N64 last time he visited Chicago, which was
GoldenEye? Did you
maybe
play
like 6 months ago. GoldenEye is definitely one of them for sure.
Yeah,
the original Smash Brothers has been great.
Never played that. Is it good?
Yeah, it's the sickest. It's great. Yeah, it's fantastic. Definitely play some Smash Bros. The original Mario 64 has been great. There's this fun golf game called the Waialae Open, which is like super nice to like chill out and play golf. I don't even play golf in real life. It's just like super fun to just like sit there and play. And kind of like, you space out a little bit, play a little golf N64. But dude, I've been getting a lot of use out of the N64. It's definitely great. Like, well, I mean, whenever I get a chance to, I get some use out of it. But it's definitely super fun to play. And then on the Anbernic, my daughter's always trying to grab it now because she's at the age, 19 months old. She's always just grabbing everything now, trying to like, get into things. And she really likes playing Sonic. Like 1, 2, and 3 on that. And by play, I mean she'll like kind of just hit the buttons over and over again.
Of course.
Yeah, but it's kind of fun. So she'll snag that Anbernic and kind of run around with it and hit some buttons on Sonic, which is fun. But
I've never gotten into Sonic. Maybe I should start that. There's so many games that I haven't really tried yet.
So many games too.
It's so stupid of people saying, "Oh, I need a new game," or "I'm bored." I'm like, how can you be bored by such a catalog of games that are still exist?
Especially in Anbernic, pay like $40 and you have like 2,000 games that you can try out,
Exactly. And I just found out last week the world of ROM hacks. Not sure if you're familiar with that, where people are taking an old game and then modifying it to either make it better, remix it. So last week I played the ROM hack of Turtles and Streets of Rage 2. So they took the level of Streets of Rage 2, but put in all of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle characters inside.
awesome.
And it's so good. But they also made ROM hacks if you're a Pokemon fan. They made actually completely new games. They took like the Game Boy ROM and then make a totally new story with new Pokemons and stuff like that.
That's
and
awesome.
It's
Yeah, I definitely
essentially a new game. It's amazing. I just found out about it last week, so I haven't tried yet everything, but it's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, definitely childhood. Like the yellow, blue, and red were like on heavy rotation for sure on the Game Boy back in the day. So the Pokemon ones, those were awesome.
Yeah, also vibe. I mean,
Yeah,
I need to play some of them as well again. Not sure which one yet. It's too many choices. I'm not sure yet. Many people say like the Crystal is supposed to be really good, but
yeah, I remember those were like right after. I think those might have been like was that a Game Boy Advance one?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So the other ones were Game Boy Color or whatever, and then switch after that. Yeah. Yeah, so many fun games over there.
Yeah, cool. Exactly. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for taking the time so early in your morning. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so over at Out in the Lights on YouTube, I just started a Instagram too, begrudgingly. But you can follow me over there if you want to. YouTube's the place to find me though, for sure. But on Instagram, it's Out in the Lights YouTube is like the name for that if you do want anything on there. Maybe someday I'll do some more behind the scenes footage if I have some time over on Instagram. But yeah, check me out. I always try and put out at least one video a week on Saturdays and then, some shorts and stuff throughout the week. And if I have the time, I usually do another one on Wednesday. So try and keep the content coming for everyone. But yeah, come over, comment on my videos, tell me what you like, what you don't like, and we'll chat.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Please push a like for Alex to be up this early, to be on this podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to his channel. And we see you in the next podcast or video. Thank you very much.